Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to Book Club.
Welcome back.
Holy
10.
shit, episode 10.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Episode 10. Episode 10.
We are so excited, you guys. Last week we took a little break in between Nightbane
For Bridgerton.
Lightlark. Yeah. Let's
Let's
fucking go.
fucking go.
So we discussed Bridgerton, but this week we're going back hitting Nightbane by Alex Aster. This shit goes crazy.
And I just want to point out
so
how
crazy.
beautiful she makes her covers.
Oh my gosh,
Like-
yeah. And this having like a blue foil
Oh.
to it, the front.
Oh, yeah. Especially when Lightlark was kind of gold.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
I'm obsessed.
I am obsessed. These books make me want to throw up and die.
Yeah,
But in like a
Alex,
good way. And like, I want to read it again.
Yeah, Alex could beat my ass and I would thank her.
Yeah, literally. So, okay. I'm going to read back the book now. I just love this book so much.
Just
So
thinking
the
about
first
it.
quote is from Grimm. You were once the bane of my existence, and now you're the center of it. Isla Crown has secured the love of two powerful rulers and broken the curses that plagued the 6 realms for centuries. But few know the true origins of her powers. Now, in the wake of a crushing betrayal, Isla finds herself hungry for distraction, preferring to frequent Lightlark's seductive haunts instead of embracing her duties as the newly crowned leader of 2 separate realms. Worse, her fellow rulers haven't ceded victory quietly, and there are others in Isla's midst who don't believe her ascent to power was earned. As certain death races towards Lightlark and secrets from the past begin to unravel, Isla must weigh her responsibility to her people against the whims of the most dangerous traitor of all, her heart. Ah, boo-hoo. You have Grimm and Oro. Shut up. Shut up.
So,
This book is amazing.
This book went crazy. And as always, there's going to be spoilers. We have a lot of things to say. But if you don't really care about spoilers,
Yeah.
then you can stick around. We're going to hit all the major events that happen. So like if you're just curious about the book and you don't really care about spoilers, like if you're just not a reader and you just kind of want to know and kind of want to vibe,
Yeah.
we'll let you know. Otherwise, welcome to Book Club. We're going to go over this. We're going to go crazy. And that's that.
Hey, what's up? Ready for book club?
I am obsessed.
This is the worst. What do you mean? What? No, idiot.
Welcome to Book Club. Welcome to Book Club.
All right. Right when you open the book, I just want to jump into this and say that we have a bigger map. Like we kind of got a map in Lightlark, right?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, well we have a map here and it shows
maybe.
literally where everything is, shows where all the aisles are. It's more detailed and it's beautiful and I love it. And I think it's amazing. However, I actually feel like I'm gonna throw up. Finishing this book made me feel like I wanted to I don't know, jump off a cliff maybe.
Yeah, the ending of this book was like I could feel it in my chest.
I can feel it in my stomach. It's like
I didn't like it.
I felt like I got punched in the gut. Every time I read
The
an Alex
way-
Aster book, I feel like I get punched in the gut.
Yeah, because the way she ends it, it's just like, whoop.
It's
And you're
so
just, like,
rude.
hanging
She's
there.
so... Alex
And I
Aster
feel like
is
I'm
sick.
Yeah, I feel like I'm swinging from a fucking chandelier. You know in Harry Potter, when those little monster things that come out of they're little tiny little...
The plants,
No.
the ones that get ripped up by their heads and they're like, ah! That's me.
That also, but the little tiny goblins, and they hang from the chandelier and they pick up what's his face by the shoulder.
Oh, the fairies.
Like yeah, the little fairies, and they pick what's his face up
Yep.
by the shoulders and they put him on the chandelier. Alex Aster is those little gremlin fairies, and she just put me on the chandelier, and now I'm just like dangling there,
And I'm freaking
never
out.
long bottom, and I'm never long bottom.
Yes.
Like that's
Literally.
That's
So
what finishing Alex Aster books feels like.
I have all of these sticky notes, and I label my sticky notes as I'm reading. So I read and I'm like, oh, this needs its own category. My categories are literally what the fuck, foreshadowing, callback, question mark, emotion, question mark, question mark, question mark, Spicetown, USA. Those are literally my 5 labels of sticky notes.
I did labels in Powerless, and I haven't labeled the color of my sticky notes, except for the dark blue ones. My dark blue ones. No, my dark blue ones are things that I use for lyrics when I'm writing songs.
Oh, well, they're things that I go back and reread so that I can feel them in my soul.
That's the only time I like specifically put a color is for when I'm writing a song about or when I want to write a song about a book and I'm like, oh, this would be a nice lyric. So I highlight it and then I put a special sticky note. So like my dark blue ones were all lyrics that I used in the song that I wrote.
That's more intellectual than me.
All of my other ones were Spicetown.
Spicetown,
USA.
So basically,
population me.
Yeah. Population Grim. Grim. He's the ruler of Spicetown.
Yeah.
Forget Nightshade. So we basically start off Nightbane with what happens at the end of Lightlark is, the curses are broken. Grim has gone back to Nightshade and she feels betrayed because we find out that she's actually had a relationship with Grim for the past year before the Centennial, but he took her memories away.
Yeah.
And now she has fallen in love with Oro, and she thinks she's fallen in love with Oro. And Oro has fallen in love with her for surezies because there is like a connection. They can access each other's powers. And so she's living in Lightlark and is learning to also use her powers because her powers have been unlocked, sort of. But this book kind of goes back and forth between, once you get a little bit more into it, her memories of Grim from that past year start to come back. So we're reading, and then we get a before chapter. And the before is a memory coming back about her and Grim.
And every time she remembers something, she gets slightly possessed.
She blacks out basically.
Yeah,
and
it's
like that's so Reven. I have a vision. You know what I'm saying? And it zooms in on her eyeball.
Yeah.
That's Isla. Every time she has a memory, unless it's a dream.
Literally.
Sometimes it happens in dreams.
Sometimes they are dreams.
And Grim is convinced that when she remembers everything, she'll go back to him.
Well, yeah, because when she finally we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Let's go over the main points because
yes, okay.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, my first sticky note was, all right, so she's back in Lightlark, whatever, with Oro, and they're trying to unwrap her powers because she's Wilding and Nightshade. So her powers are kind of mixed. And Starling now. But
now she's 3.
Her powers are kind of bound together and she can't really access them fully because they're all tangled together and mixed up. So one of the things in the Lightlark episode that we were wondering what was going to happen was Oro and Isla go back to those little blue fairy people in what I'm picturing as almost like a hive.
Yeah. Isn't his name Remlar, the main guy?
Remlar, yeah. They go back to him.
I love his vibe.
I love his vibe too. He's giving Surreal from ACOTAR.
Yeah.
He's
In a
giving,
way. I don't know. He's giving I don't know. He's what Isla needed.
Yeah. He's giving
Definitely.
he's also technically Nightshade. And
yeah.
he knew. We find out that he knew from the first time he met Isla that she was also a Nightshade. And so he's vibes with her, right? And so Oro takes her back to him. So basically to be like, yo, only a Nightshade can untangle her powers. And he's like, aight, brother, this is finna hurt. And takes her into the woods. And I don't even know what he does, because he says, I told you she would return willingly. I want the Wilding to visit me. Once this is all over, she will come willingly, I assure you. So we get that continuation. There was no plot hole, because we were concerned that there might be some plot holes, which we should have gone back and looked at what we thought would be plot holes and see if they all got filled out. But
we should have. But I
there's
don't
a
have my
couple
Lightlark book.
Yeah, she left
I
it
left it at your house.
But there's a couple things that I don't think we're going to get to know until the next book, so whatever. But Basically, he does something to her. He, like, I don't know, some type of feng shui, and opens a chakra, and she, like, is on the ground, and it says, the world died and came to life in front of her. She kept screaming until her voice disappeared in a final croak. This is on page 52 and 53, by the way. And she's, like, on the ground.
That's your
one
first
hand.
sticky note, girl?
What? Yeah.
That's your first?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because nothing really matters else other than that. Like,
that's not true.
Okay, well then let's get back to this, and then we can go back and cover something if you want to bring it up.
No, maybe I'm just stupid. Yeah, you keep going.
Okay, so she's on the ground. One hand is spewing nightshade powers. That's literally killing everything in these woods, turning everything to ash. And on the other hand is spewing wilding powers, which is like the opposite. And it's spewing like plants and trees and flowers and vines, like going both ways. So the woods look crazy.
Yeah.
But her powers are finally unraveled. And then this part, we should have known that, well, I mean, I guess we kind of did know something was going to happen with her and Oro. Their love bond was not as strong as her and Grimm, because it says, Oro saying, look at me, love. Love, she held onto the word like an anchor, but the thread between them slipped through her fingers. Darkness won the war and swallowed her whole. Like, she is already being like her body, when it's like her body and her mind, I feel like throughout this whole book kind of have a disconnect. Mm-hmm. There is another part of her that her body remembers. Like, your body remembers emotions that even your brain can't remember sometimes. And her body is consistently chooses Grimm.
Yeah.
But her mind chooses Oro. Which is why I think when she says that she loves him, Oro obviously can tell if she's lying.
Yeah.
He's like, believes it, right? I don't know. But then after this part, we get a memory. She goes back to it before. Like, unraveling her powers unlocked a memory. And it's literally her first time in Nightshade.
Yeah, the memories throughout, like...
I could do a whole episode just on the memories.
Yeah, I could too. Sorry, my cat was meowing. I got concerned.
Where was your first sticky note, though?
Actually, I don't want to talk about that yet because I want to touch on it afterwards because it's something that I have it's something that I want to discuss, like, in conversation.
Okay, fair enough. Also, I lied.
Let's get through the main points.
My first sticky note is actually on page 29, and it's saying Isla did not want to create, now that she's a ruler, she did not want to create an heir. And I said, oof, please no pregnancy trope. I don't think we're going to get one, but for realsies, please no pregnancy trope.
I can't, no. Get it out. Get it away.
Get it out. Let's see, where we go next? Ooh.
Yuck. I did make a note. I was on, Olive, be so fucking serious. I don't know, I was really scared and cautious when it came to Oro because I thought that he was going to have a Tamlin arc. Yeah. And I was so scared. So, like, my first two notes are literally on page 3. It wasn't meant to be when she's trying to open the vault and Oro's like, you're not ready. It wasn't meant to be opened easily. The vault's door could be charmed to admit only a wildling ruler. And she goes, I am. And then he cuts her off and says, one who has mastered their abilities.
Yeah.
I thought Oro ends up being completely fine. Yeah. But
which is almost worse.
And then on page 9,
I was kind of hoping he would have a Tamlin.
I was too, honestly. Like, it would make it easier. Yeah. But God forbid. And then on page 9, she's like hoping that they'll, like, you know, do some sexy time. And he's like,
and Oro keeps shutting her down.
Dinner's in a few hours. Then we'll begin our training.
That was hurting me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hurting me. The fact that, like, all Isla wanted was to get freaky with Oro, and he wouldn't do it. And that was annoying to me. But I just want to jump to this first memory. There's not really a big event that happens here necessarily, but it's like she accidentally ends up in Nightshade, and there's like a line of women. We find out later that this is because Grimm is trying to produce an heir, but he's not supposed to sleep with the same woman 2 times.
Yeah.
And so these women line up basically to be they're not even going to be the mother of this kid. Like, they're just going to birth the kid. If they get pregnant with the heir, they're just going to have the baby, and then Grimm, I guess, will freaking raise it. I don't know. But she gets thrown into this line of women. Grimm comes out, picks her out of the lineup, takes her to his room and freaks it, tries to, pushes her against the wall. This is even met before. Starts kissing her, and she stabs him in the chest, and literally all I said was, LOL, weird, but okay.
Because she's like, oh, wait.
And this is her first kiss. She, at this point in time, this is before the Centennial, this is before anything, she has never kissed a man. And it's like that, and then she stabs him. Like, are you kidding? Let's see. Where's the next thing? Where's the next thing that's actually...
My next sticky note's on 86, and it's mad foreshadowing. I didn't realize this, but it was.
Is on 79 is the first time Isla they're talking to Oro, and I just said princess treatment because Oro says, when all this is over, I'll gild you an entire castle. Is that sufficient? Princess treatment. I start to really, 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 really like Oro. But this is something I want to talk about here on page 90, and then we'll go to your sticky note, your foreshadowing one. This is the first time that we get in a fantasy book like this, literally Isla says, I don't want to rule. I don't want my life tied to thousands of others. I don't want to have all this responsibility. And I know that makes me selfish and awful, and I have no right to be so upset, but I am. I want a life, Oro. And knowing obviously how this book ends, like, that would make sense why Grimm did everything as part of why Grimm did everything he did, because, like, we'll get to this later, but one of the reasons that all this battle stuff is happening is because there's a lot of people on Lightlark that believe in the idea of this other land that, like, you don't have to be connected to your ruler for you to not die. And Isla's the ruler of literally 2 realms, has the power of 3 realms.
2. Yeah.
And doesn't want to be a ruler because she's like, I will do it. And the whole time Azul is like, yeah, dude, this sucks. But you have to, like, you're a ruler. And she's like, I don't want to be.
Yeah.
And now she might not have to be. Like, she has the big powers, but she might not have to be connected to everybody for there to be her, like, lifeline.
Yeah. I really hope they can figure out, I hope that the happy ending is that they figure out, because, like, later we'll get to the part where Remlar, I think it's Remlar, or one of the other, like, ancient creatures that she's talking to, is like, we remember home. And then she blacks out and goes into another. So there was, like, Lightlark is a baby island. It's like a miniature version of, like, their old mainland.
But we don't find that out until, like, she doesn't know that.
Yeah, we don't find that out until way later. And it's up in the air, questionable to if any of the other rulers know it. I think it said that only Cleo knows it. And that's why Cleo's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Bye.
And here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking. Is because I don't think Oro knows that.
I don't think so either.
Because the thing is whoever the heir, like the people who create the rulers who created Lightlark, right? The original ones, the ancestors of Grimm, Oro, and Isla.
Yeah.
There was still that, there were so many things that they didn't explain, like the whole fact that, like, a curse was spun by a nightshade so that the ruler would be the most powerful one in each realm, so that their people would have to rely on them. But somehow along the line of being king of Lightlark, whatever happened to get Oro's line of, like, family line to be the king of Lightlark, something in that is some type of, I'm assuming, I'm guessing, speculating, is some type of curse that ties him to Lightlark, so that if Lightlark falls, Oro's gonna die.
Ooh. Yeah.
But I think Lightlark has to fall.
I think so too.
But the island of Lightlark is connected to Oro. But then the Oracle said that Oro and or Grimm one of them is going to die by Isla's hand. And I think it's going to be Oro. I think she's going to kill Oro.
I don't believe the Oracle. Hot take.
Really?
I'm delusional, babe.
Yeah, that's super fair.
I don't know. I'm not, as we've said many a times in this podcast, we're not the best critical thinkers out there. I choose to live in delusion, especially when it comes to my little fantasy worlds.
Yes.
Like, I remember when Aka War, spoiler, if you haven't read it, skip 30 seconds ahead. But like in Aka War, when Reese dies and then is brought back, I saw a discourse on TikTok of people being like, this isn't realistic. Like, it's the biggest war and everybody survives. Yes, because it's too stressful any other way. It's I want everybody to survive.
Oh yeah, like, straight up. Where's your
happy.
foreshadowing?
86.
86.
86.
Okay.
So this is when she first meets Enya, which is Oro's like best friend, cousin. They're
kind
besties.
of cousin, best friend. Grow up. They're almost like cousins. Yeah.
Yeah, their moms were best friends. So Enya is this other sunling who's very sweet, very nice, and is choosing to help Isla and the wildlings like learn how to survive again. And Enya's saying, like, we'll make this work. Like, we'll fix it. Like, we'll help them. And it just says, Isla believed her. She would believe anything that came out of her mouth. And then about 200 pages later, Enya and Isla are talking, and Enya's basically like, listen, Isla, I really like you. Like, you're a lot different than I thought you would, but I don't like you for Grimm.
For Oro.
I'm sorry, for Oro. I just be talking. I don't like you for Oro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she basically says that, like, Oro puts ruling second to Isla. And I think Grimm does that too. But again, Oro's life is tied to Lightlark.
Yeah. And
so I think you're right in the sense that, like, Lightlark is going to have to fall. Oro is going to have to die. Mm-hmm. But I don't want that to happen personally. Yeah. But I just don't really see how, with everything that's been said and everything that's happened, I don't see how that could be, how anything else could be possible. Because I think Grimm also puts Isla above ruling. Like, he genuinely.
But here's my thing, and this is something that I have a book club question about for later, is there's this whole debate on using your emotion to fuel your power.
Yeah.
And Grimm, like, yes, he puts Isla above him, but his power is so insanely strong that it doesn't matter, because, like, no one can fuck with him anyways, because even if he's being emotional, because he's so strong that, like, his reasoning for doing everything is behind some type of emotion. But but we'll get to that in a little bit when we get a little bit more into the book. I want to talk about, even we both finished the book a little over a day ago, and we only have really FaceTime to talk about it once. We never talked about her bonding an animal, and if I didn't love wilding already, the fact that they get little animals, shut up.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
I love
also
bonding.
What do you think about Lynx really fucking with Oro? But he also, like, at the end went with Grimm and her. So I'm just, like, confused.
Here's my thing.
Because Lynx also knew her dad, who was also a Nightshade. We should talk about that. Who her dad was. But let's talk about Lynx first.
We're talking about Lynx, and then we're going to get to that. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think, first of all, the fact that, like, she has to go through that whole bonding thing, and she just acts like she knows what the fuck is going on when she's talking to Ren, I think, is the one who's like, we were surprised when you didn't bond an animal. She was like, what are you talking about? And Isla's calling it an animal companion, and they're like, you're bonded. Like, saying, like, it's not just a companion. Fuck you. And she's like, oh, well, I'll do it. I'll bond to an animal. And Ren's like, really? You'll do the ceremony? And Isla's like, yes, absolutely. Doesn't ask a single fucking question.
She's not like, what is the ceremony? She's like,
And
yeah,
Ren
I'll
is
do
like-
the fucking ceremony.
Ren is like, oh, well, we have to wait for a good night. Tonight's a good night. How's tonight? And she's like, sure.
I was
Sign
like,
me
fuck
up.
it, we ball, I guess. And then she
And-
gets sent into the woods to fend
Into
for
like a-
herself.
Into like a bog, like a swamp. Like,
And then
what
she
the-
starts like
what are you doing in my swamp? That's
Why
what's
are you doing
happening
in my
there.
swamp? Yeah, no, literally. And then she like has to. I don't know. I was very confused by like in my head it wasn't making sense because she was in the swamp and then all of a sudden she was in the trees.
So imagine, like in a swamp, basically, if I have this fucking correct, what a
Speak
like a
on it.
bog or a swamp is like
Yeah.
there's a river originally, and then it overflows so much and it just becomes this murky, muddy, like water
Yeah.
forest. So
Yeah.
all the trees are still coming up through the water.
Through the water.
But there's deeper parts where it's like really almost like a lake, and then there's parts where like it maybe could be like just up to like your waist or something, but then there's trees. So she can still climb through these trees. There's still like branches and stuff like over it. And like it just the water level just kind of rises and lowers. So like there's some areas where you can like walk through it and it's just like regular up to your shins or something, and then it sinks
Right.
down, goes back up. So that's kind of what I was picturing, was just like a swampy, like almost like Princess and the Frog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like one of those. And so she's running through and she's trying, basically they're like, yeah, so for us, like regular wildings, when we go to bond an animal, we can just like catch it. For a ruler, you're supposed to harm it. You have to shoot it with an arrow. And Isla's like, great, yeah, I can do that. And she's like, well, don't come back until you find one. And she's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. What the fuck
and
did
then
I
she
sign up
sees
for?
like she's seeing like birds and butterflies. She's like, damn, I really want
I want
something
something
like
that
that,
easily travels.
I want something like that. And I don't know if Ren says it or like what, but I was basically sitting there like, I can't come back with a fuck ass butterfly. Like that's
Yeah.
or like some fucking hummingbird. Like
Okay,
that's
wait.
not gonna.
If you had to go do like the bonding ceremony, what animal do you think you would bond with? Because I have what I think you would bond with.
I would have gotten killed by the bear. No, I don't know. Probably. Like, what animal do I think? Because Isla ends up bonded to like a panther, a lynx.
It's a
His name is
It's not
Lynx.
a
It's-
lynx. Its name is Lynx, but it's a black jaguar.
It's like a black panther. Oh, it's a jaguar.
Yeah.
Whatever. Which is sick as fuck, and it's huge. It's massive.
Yeah, it's like massive. I'm picturing
Um,
I'm literally picturing like Twilight werewolves, but
No, that's literally what I was thinking, especially like at first I was thinking like almost as big as a tree, and then when like it kept like they kept like petting each other with their faces, I was like, oh my god, they're literally having a Jacob and Bella moment. Like, genuinely, I don't know what animal I don't know.
well, I think you would bond
Probably like a
to
flamingo.
bitch, no.
I love flamingos.
I think you would bond to a snake.
Fuck you!
What? That's a cool. I think you bond to like I'm picturing like a rainbow like boa,
Okay.
and I think it would just be like slithering around and like it would like hang on your shoulders and shit, Britney
All
Spears
of the
style.
evil characters that have ever existed, though, have snakes.
Well, I think that's stupid because I think it fits in like a
Voldemort,
fantasy.
the fucking guy from Princess and the Frog.
Nah, he doesn't have
They're
a
all-
snake.
He's a snake.
Not in Princess and the Frog. He's a voodoo man.
He is a snake. Is there
He
not a
doesn't-
snake in that?
No, there's not a snake in that movie. There are crocodiles and there's shadows.
snake.
There's a snake in Robin Hood. He has a snake.
I've not seen Robin Hood.
And in the Jungle Book, there's a snake.
Never seen the Jungle Book.
But I think you'd bond with like a really cool snake, and it'd be like a badass mean snake for sure. But
I was gonna
think,
say snake, but I don't know. I just don't think I'm definitely not like hard enough to like shoot like a
well, she
bear.
doesn't even shoot lynx. Basically,
Yeah, she
Ren
stabs
says like if
here's
an animal,
one arrow.
she
Good
basically
luck.
says if an animal out there lets you hurt it, it's because it like, or if you hurt an animal out there, it's because it let you.
It let you, yeah.
Like that's what happens. Like basically, Lynx comes to save her from the crazy horned bear, and she like has a piece of arrow and just like stabs it in the leg.
Yeah.
And he's like, literally get fucked.
Yeah.
What animal do you think I would bond with?
Like a deer.
Deers can't do shit. What about a buck? Could it be a buck?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
the male deer that she came
Yeah.
in that she ran into. I think something like that. Like with
Yeah.
big old horns. Like again, like in Harry Potter, the
Yeah. What is
the
it called? A
third one?
stag?
yeah, a stag.
Big
Yeah.
sleigh. Big sleigh.
I have a
Okay, now
fucking
let's talk
snake.
about the fact. So Lynx was actually Isla's mother's
Mom's.
bonded animal. And what were we going to talk about? Her dad.
Yeah. So we
Isla has
find
a
out-
dad. Shocker.
Oh,
She's
shit.
not really around.
Isla has a dad. Breaking news.
Breaking news. She has an absent father.
Well, he died.
Win some, you lose some.
Her mom died too.
I think.
Oh, and can we also talk about the fact that when she met, like after they were getting closer, he like gave her visions of her mom.
Oh my god, yeah. And of Isla
That
as
was
a
so
baby.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I know. And
I
Lynx
really
was, like,
liked that.
he was like grieving.
He
with
could like she could.
Isla.
The way that their bond is described is kind of how I imagine like. I really like the way that Alex Aster uses bonds, like how you can feel their emotions.
Yeah.
And like even when she's, anyways, but like how I honestly really, really, really enjoy the whole like it's same in Fourth Wing. Like they can feel what their dragons are feeling.
Yeah.
I
agree.
honestly I prefer a human animal bond over a human human bond. I think that shit is sick.
I think having like a little animal sidekick goes crazy. And it makes me want to be a wilding even more.
Yeah, same.
Like I fucking love that shit. But
Same
here's
thing.
my speculation about Isla's father, right? So we find out through one of the memories that Grimm's general or whatever. So like in a lot of her memories, Isla is looking for this sword with Grimm. That's like their first. That's why they start working together originally. He needs to find a sword that he can't use with his own powers. And so he needs Isla to come, like somebody who's not in his realm, isn't going to tell anybody, whatever. And he says that the reason he doesn't use someone from Nightshade is because he has hunted for the sword of somebody before and got betrayed. The person he hunted for the sword with was his like general commander-in-chief dude. And he found the sword. I think he said he found it in Wilding. And that's
I don't remember.
I think he found it in
Truly.
Wilding, and that's where he met Isla's mom.
But then
And
he went rogue.
he went rogue because he was afraid that Grimm
He went
was
AWOL.
going.
Did you know AWOL stands for something?
No.
Away without leave. It's an actual military term. It's an actual military term. So if you like leave and you don't like request leave, then that's when you're AWOL. So like he basically went AWOL and he was like,
Yeah.
I'm not coming back
The more
because
you
this
know.
bitch is, yeah. He's like, this bitch,
don't
love
trust
her and
him.
I want a bone. You don't trust the dad?
No. He was saying that he didn't trust Grimm. He thought so. Grimm's dad
he thought-
was the one
yeah,
who
Grimm's dad was
created
power
this
hungry.
sword. He was power hungry. He created this sword so that he could create he could turn his Nightshade soldiers, not humans, but like Nightshades, people.
They were. Yeah.
into
Drex.
Drex, which are like I'm picturing. If you've read ACOTAR, the way they describe
The adder.
the
Or
adder,
Adder. I
yeah,
don't know how if
the
that's how you say
big
it, but
scary bat thing
yeah,
is how I'm picturing in Drex. Like almost,
that's also how I was picturing it.
but they crawl up from hell and and rain fire and kill everybody.
Yeah,
He's turning his soldiers into that with this sword. Grimm wants to find the sword to stop that, I'm assuming, but his general-in-chief, commander-in-chief dude doesn't Commander-in-Chief doesn't really think. Why doesn't our military use that? That's hilarious. What's your new rank? Oh, Commander-in-Chief?
That's from Rick and Morty. He's talking to the president, and Morty goes, "Okay, Commander-in-Chief."
Anyways, so he basically gets the sword, takes it, and doesn't give it to Grimm because he thinks Grimm is going to do the same thing. He thinks Grimm is like his dad. Whatever, and he goes off and finds Isla's mom, and they get married. Or not married, but they have Isla. And then they die. They get killed.
By Tara and Poppy.
Yes. Fuck Tara and Poppy. Can we talk about Tara and Poppy? Let me finish my speculation, actually.
Okay.
I think I think Lynx didn't fully trust Isla's dad when they met, and he wasn't really vibing with him, and he's like, I don't really know about these fucking nightshades. He knows what he has to do, though, so when he does end up going with Grimm, it's because he has to go with Isla. I think he doesn't trust them, and I think he genuinely just likes Oro more. Oro is a more likable man.
Yeah.
And I think he's just like, aw, Oro's so chill and happy and, like, pure-hearted a little bit.
Yeah.
And Grimm is not. He's not that. Grimm's gonna do some fucked shit.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Tara and Poppy, because we have some plot holes there that haven't been answered yet. What the fuck's going on with them?
First of all, where the fuck is Poppy?
I don't know, but Tara's an asshole.
Tara's a... What'd you say in Bridgerton, the episode? Oh my god, I was watching it. It made me cackle. She's a hop, skip, and a jump away from the devil herself.
Yeah.
That's Tara.
Like,
she
what
sucks.
the fuck? She, like, also killed her own mother? Or not killed her own mother, killed Isla's mother.
Oh, yeah. Her ruler.
And is literally like, thanks for opening the vault for us, or the portal.
And then she goes
in
it. So I wonder where she went. I don't know.
I have no idea, but that's something that's, like, not fucking answered.
We also need to talk about the chapter. First of all, it's titled Prophecy. And it's on page 155, and she's talking about the oracles. There were 3 the last time she went, and now there's only 1 because the other 2 sided with Nightshade, and they're gone.
Yeah, Cleo's also gone. She goes to Nightshade.
Cleo's also gone.
Because basically, Isla has this memory, or like this vision, that there's going to be a battle, right, on Lightlark. It's like a vision she thinks she's having, and then Grimm comes in her brain or whatever. There's a Drek attack, and all these attacks are happening to Lightlark, and basically, he's like, I'm coming in 30 days. I'm going to fuck your shit up. So that's what's happening. And Isla's having these visions of, like, a battle where everybody dies and she dies and it's crazy. And she thinks Grimm is sending her these memories. So they're
images, basically.
Images, or, like, not memories, but, like, he's, like, saying this is what's going to happen.
Basically, she thinks she's seeing the future.
Yeah. And so, like, Cleo also ends up joining Nightshade. So, like, all of the realms have the choice to either go to their new lands or stay with Lightlark and fight with Lightlark. And Cleo
the thing about the new lands is that if Lightlark falls, eventually the magic's going to run out, or, like, whatever. The power's going to fizzle out, and then the new lands are going to die, and then the rulers are going to die. So, basically, what has to happen is that they have to find this old, ancient place that used to be their home. The oracles are gone. Cleo's gone. We also find out some weird backstory about Cleo. Still don't trust that bitch.
Still
but
don't
she
trust that
apparently
bitch.
had a son.
Yeah. I think
and the
she's
son
unhinged.
died.
I think she's, like, crazy.
Cleo is giving, like, manic grandma energy.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know what I
She's
mean?
like, I'm gonna get my son back. And we're like, girl, I don't think you are.
Yeah, because, like, basically also she thinks that, or, well, it's said that you can revive souls.
Yeah.
In the ancient place wherever. And so Cleo's like, oh, I'm siding with Nightshade because they're going there and now I can get my son back, which doesn't even make sense. Again, that's what I would like when we were talking about it. I was like, it would make sense if it was like an Amarantha with what's his face's eye in the ring.
Like she had like a part of him or a piece of his soul.
Him. But like
something.
He was literally swept away by the current. There's no getting any physical, there's no getting him back. And I feel like in order to, I don't know.
And we do finally, around pages like 132, we do finally get some stuff happening between Isla and Oro. Up to this point, they've been training, and she's been working on mastering her powers and whatever. And like finally, like they say I love you, and they start kissing, and they start doing shit, and things get a little spicy. And when I was reading it, I was like, oh yeah, I fuck with this, because he was saying like knowing she's been wearing his t-shirts to bed. Yeah. And he didn't know that. And he says, knowing you've been wearing my shirts to bed, Isla, it drives me mad. Oh! These pages of Oro, oh my God, this is, oh, I want to talk about this. Page 138. So like they're about to, you know, they don't have sex, but he's like going to get her off at least. And he says, do you want this? She looks over her shoulder at him. She had never wanted anything more. She says, yes. He says, it says he was a man unleashed. What? You don't like that? It's like a man starved.
I don't know. Unleashed is not the word that I like.
I like it for Oro specifically because he's so
uptight.
He's so uptight, and it drives me crazy. Like
he has got a stick up his ass.
He really does. And like genuinely, I think his whole place on like emotions causing bad decisions, I don't know, I think it's, or like causing like destruction or it being dangerous or like using your emotions to fuel your power. I think there's a very fine line for that where like, yes, you can like, you know, make some dumb decisions, do something reckless possibly, but this is one of the questions I wanted to ask, like, what do you think pain or emotion in general, we find out later, is what makes people strong? Or do you think it's the ability to keep your emotions, to have control over your emotions that makes you strong? Because that's basically what they are. Oro is like, oh, I can control my emotions and that's why it makes me strong. Grim is like the complete opposite. And he fuels his power that way. And he is, like, he does have a stronger power than Oro, but is it bad?
I think it's a fine line between both because Isla is obviously very powerful and we see that it can be very destructive and it can be incredibly dangerous to use your powers solely based on the emotion that you're feeling. And we eventually find out that pain is not the strongest emotion.
Yeah.
But she gets, basically, she kills herself by doing that.
Yeah.
Grim has like kind of mastered it and Oro won't touch it. So I think there is a fine line. You're really like walking the line with.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
and I think
agree.
Grim's right in the middle. Like he can control his emotions, but he can also like kind of tether into using his emotions, but he doesn't to wield, but he doesn't do it to the point that Isla does, and Grim or Oro is just like, oh, I'm not gonna fuck with that.
But
shit
Oro's like, don't even bother, and
yeah.
like Isla's like, I don't know. There's certain parts of it. She's like, I need to do this. But I think jumping forward to like get back on track to some of our big points. 162, we find out. So she's still going back and forth. She's still training. They're worried about this whole destruction of Lightlark. The whole book takes place over that like 30 days. Like it's a countdown to that 30-day mark.
Yeah.
Where the Nightshades are going to basically invade Lightlark. And she's going back, she has a memory, because she knows, basically the Oracle says, like, if you can remember, you are the key to this. If you can remember what the hell happened with you and Grim, you're going to be able to know what this is all about, because nobody knows what it's even about.
Yeah. And
so she's having memories again. Her and Grim are still looking for this sword in her memories. And she sees something, they go through like a market, whatever. She sees some sellers, like a black market basically, and we find the title drop on 162. Somebody selling Nightbane. She slowed in front of it, curious. There were small vials of something dark. The seller's face lit up her attention. Takes away all troubles and pain.
So, speaking of the name drop, did you figure out why it's called Nightbane?
No.
Do you have a... I have a speculation.
Ooh.
So, on 184, we find out what we hear Nightbane. We hear the name drop on 162 whatever, right?
Yeah.
184, someone tells Isla, it's Rimlar, you are the only person living who is able to turn death into life. 221, we get what Nightbane is.
Yes,
right?
It's a
drug.
flower that basically in Wilding, it is this, throughout the entire book, they're using this, and in Lightlark, they use as a healing, it's a healing elixir, right? Like it's the Wilding's version of almost this like magical medicine that can cure anything. It doesn't take the pain away, but it can heal physical wounds.
It heals everything. So on 221, Grimm's like, you will never know Nightbane. It kills you slowly, methodically. You basically die with a smile on your face. And then on 318 is when it's Nightbane, the drug he had talked about, the one that made people endlessly happy while killing them from the inside out. The wildling flower doesn't kill, it heals. So basically, both poison and remedy, opposites like her and Grimm, the ruler of life and the ruler of shadows. And then flip back to 184, you are the only living person who is able to turn death into life. Isla is personified Nightbane.
Oh my God, she is. Oh, that's so good. You're so smart.
Thanks.
That is so good.
That literally, the wildling flower doesn't kill, it heals. So she has the ability to be both Nightbane and
because the thing is, it's like
wildling.
She is Wilding and she is Nightshade. And Grimm says too, in the hands of a Wilding, this flower is a cure. In the hands of a Nightshade, this flower is a drug.
It's a drug. Yeah. So she's literally like personified Nightbane, and I think that's why it's called
Hear me
Nightbane.
out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. What if we get Nightbane tattoos?
Let's go.
Because I think that would be so pretty. I don't know what it looks like, but
I was going to say, do you know what it looks like?
I have this image in my head of it, and I don't know, we should look up some fan art of it, because they say that it's like the leaves are kind of narrow and they go into points. Ooh. And it's like a dark purpley, like violet color. And I'm imagining like almost like black little specks, almost like a lily, but dark purple.
I was almost imagining like a lily of the valley. That flower that kind of like
yeah. I already have one of those. But
yeah.
I was imagining it like a star-looking kind of thing.
Beautiful.
Like has like little swirlies.
I think we so many tattoos that we have to get.
Yeah, I'm gonna paint that, and then if we like it, we should get it tattooed.
Word up. Also, can we talk about? This is something that I feel like is gonna have to be. It has to be talked about again, and if it's not, I don't. 285. She's in Starling, and she's like ripping up Aurora's shit.
Yeah.
She's all pissed off, and she's like fucking shit up in the
room. Which I think is good. I think that's therapeutic. I think freaking out like that sometimes, I think is good. People are like, oh my God, you shouldn't freak out. Why not? It's giving Taylor Swift in 7 when she says like, I used to scream and yell about when I, like, not obviously all the time when you're upset, but like when you're a kid, when you are having a big emotion, you feel it. Yeah. And I think that that is therapeutic and good,
so
specifically for women. I think that's good for women.
Yeah.
Scream a little.
She's breaking all the like glass orbs that are in Celeste's sold room, and then all were empty except for one. When it shattered against the wall, something slowly floated down to the floor. A single silver feather. Why would Aurora put a quill in an orb? There wasn't any ink on its bottom, but Isla tried to write on a piece of parchment anyway. Nothing. She took the feather with her. What the fuck is the feather?
I forgot about that. What does that mean?
What the fuck is the feather? Like,
That's
it's literally
crazy.
not brought up again, but I don't know. Just like the way it was written feels like there's something important underlying there.
Yeah, that's definitely, we should make a note of all of, I don't know when Alex Aster is releasing the third book.
God, hopefully soon.
But we'll need to, before that book comes out, we need to go
We'll do another episode.
Before it comes out, yeah. We need to go through Lightlark and Nightbane and list out all the things that are unanswered and see if they get answered. But I want to go to 226 because I can't get through a fantasy book without focusing on all of the things that even toe the line of smut. I want to hear about it. I want to read about it. I would read, and I just, that's all I want is just Grimm and Isla getting it on. But on 226, and I think this is about when I wrote a note while I was reading this that I said, falling for Grimm again. Oops. Because up until this point, I'm so down bad for Oro. And I was reading it and I was like, I knew it was going to happen. I knew I was going to start to like Grimm again. I was waiting for it. Starts to happen here when he's asking her, in that original day that you stumbled into Nightshade, why were you there? Anyways, why were you in that lineup of women I was trying to fuck? And it says like, I accidentally portaled there, whatever. And he said, I should take that thing away from you. All it's bringing you is closer to death. And then basically, Isla's like, so, you got a line of whores? You got a harem? And she's like, so women just line up to sleep with you. They volunteer for the honor. And she says, who would want to sleep with you? And he said, I don't know, Heart Eater. You seemed pretty willing. Oh my God. And he says, no. She says, no, I was disgusted. And he said, is that so? And
like,
finally tells her that he can sense people's mood, basically.
Yeah.
He's like a human mood ring. And is like, I can feel flashes of emotions, and yours was very, very clear, just as they are now. He's like, I know you want to get with this.
Yeah.
You don't know shit about this. And he's literally like, go to sleep now. And she's like, fuck, that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I just eat it up. And the thing is every time she wakes up from like a spicy memory, she's always around fucking Oro, and she's always like, don't fucking look at me. Don't even look at me.
Yeah.
How awkward. How fucking awkward. That's crazy.
Yeah, as she starts to get more memories, it's like really conflicting because it's like Oro is so wholesome, but Grimm is so grim.
Okay, so we stopped for a second and I threw some sticky notes in for all the rest of the points, like from 244 and on, because shit gets crazy after this point and like starts going really fast. So this is gonna be a longer episode. Buckle up and don't go anywhere because it's worth it. We gotta get to the end of this.
Yeah.
Somehow Alex Aster manages to fit so much in 400 pages.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell does she do that? And okay, so starting the first like of these, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10. The first one is when they are, it's a before memory on page 245. And they're still looking for the sword, right? They find out that there's this thief, like this super good thief in Nightshade. And they're going to find him and basically find him in a strip club.
Yeah.
Like their version of strip club. And y'all, nothing informationally really happens that deep in this chapter, but a lot for me happens in this chapter because basically they get to the strip club, and Grimm's like, yo, I need you to get this guy to want to take you to a private room and get some fucking information out of him. And so, whatever, they go in there, and he's like, yeah, get up on the stage, girl. And he's like, and Isla's like, absolutely the fuck not, fuck you. And he's like, what? Are you not a wilding? Are you not a temptress? Is this not what you do? And he doesn't know, she doesn't know if he knows that she's powerless at this point. And so she's like, fuck. You kind of got me. Like, you're fucking right. You're supposed to be doing this. So she gets up on the stage and starts.
She's giving Feyre on fairy wine.
She is giving Feyre on fairy wine. And you know what I'm always imagining when they're talking about women dancing in fantasy books? Is that clip from...
Oh, I know. The Disney
like
movie, and she's got the boa. And
it's like a... Yeah, it's... I can't remember. It's something World. Wally's World.
Nope.
I don't remember. I don't know, but there's a GIF that I see all the time, and people use it on TikTok. This blonde cartoon girl, and she's hot as fuck in a little white dress, and she's like... People use it with, like, Lana Del Rey songs.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what it feels like to be a woman. That type of dancing is what I'm picturing here.
Yeah.
And so she's dancing, right? And basically she's wearing this fabric, but when you're on the stage, there's basically like a light on you that makes
see-through.
everything see-through. It's see-through.
She's wearing chiffon.
And
then...
okay, yeah, that's a better way
Yeah.
to picture it. She's wearing chiffon, and it's like black chiffon. You can't see, but then there's
and
a
then
light
there's
on
a
you.
light,
And
you
can
can see those ninnies.
And she's dancing, and she makes eye contact. She's supposed to be focusing on this thief in the front row, and all the other girls at the club are like, all you got to do is give him attention, and he'll eat that shit up. And she's supposed to be focused on him, and she makes eye contact with Grimm, and she met his eyes, and he did not look away. No, if anything, he looked more intensely. He's checking her out. Grimm is down bad. In this moment, Grimm is down bad. And then, like, whatever, he's looking at her, and this thief dude has got, like, a little snake around his neck.
Another dude with a snake who's bad.
Okay, I don't think you're bad. I just think that you would have a badass snake. But, whatever, she finally starts focusing on this dude. He takes her to a private room. She gives him a super strong alcoholic, like this drug that another girl gives her, and is like, hey, give him this. It says that it will keep them from, like, doing anything that, you know, you can get your payment easier without having to do more than you're supposed to be doing for this man.
Yeah.
And so whatever, they're talking. She gets information out of him, finds out that the sword is, like, in a cave somewhere. And then he passes out. Like, this dude's... What cracks me up about this scene is that this dude's passed out on the chair the entire fucking time that this interaction is happening, because Grimm comes in after he's passed out, and she's like, well, did that. Mm-hmm. Yeehaw. And he's like, yep. And she looks him in the eyes, and basically, because he walks in, he looks furious, and she says, don't kill him. He gave her a look. You look like you want to kill him. I want to kill a lot of people. And she swallowed, his gaze went straight to her throat. He walks towards her, and Isla backed away. He pins her up against the wall, and she smirked and says, I got the information. I know exactly where the sword is. Seems like I'm a perfectly good temptress. And then she says, tell me, non-powerful nightshade, was I able to tempt you? Did I make you fall hopelessly in love with me? The confidence that she has to have in that moment to be like, because if I was in that moment and I got rejected, no, nobody talked to me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but I would be like, she's got to, because like she feels like, obviously Grimm knows that like she doesn't have power, but she feels like, yeah, you know, powerful. If she doesn't put on this front, then basically she's putting her life on the line, because she assumes that like if anybody finds out that she's powerless, they're all gonna want to fucking kill her, and she already assumes Grimm is her enemy anyways and wants to kill her to begin with. So she really thinks the only thing she's got going for her is that she is a powerful ruler. So she's got to keep this front up.
That's true. But I also think too, like, she knew that he could feel, it says she knew he could feel her emotions. And he says, no, you're not something special to me. You're not something I want to love. You're something I want to ruin. And, like, is that him just saying that?
I don't think.
Or is he...
I think that's how he felt at first. I don't know. I'm still really confused because we still never get told, like, how he came to be working with Aurora.
Yeah.
We're still kind of in gray area with that. So I'm not sure.
That's so true.
Because to me, first of all, like, there's not even that many, like, overlapping things. But, like, to me, the story with Aurora, like, that, we have to find that out. There's just too much.
Yeah, it makes Grimm a little shady.
Yeah.
Because then this part, I just have this giving Tamlin. Then he ducked his head to her throat and bit her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's giving Tamlin, but I liked it when Tamlin did it, and I like it when Grimm does it. I'm fucking into that. I don't know, man. Maybe I should read a vampire book.
It was the only Timmy Tam moment that really went crazy.
Yeah, I think we should read a vampire book. But no, I agree. I think Grimm's still just kind of shady at this point.
Because then, like, eventually when they do, like, when the memory of them, like, being in love comes back, he's like, I mean, so basically, well, what's your next point that you wanted to talk about?
Finish that thought, and then we'll get there.
Because we find out that because Isla eventually finds that they get to the cave, there's a dragon, there's also, like, 1,000,001 booby traps, essentially, and Grimm, at this point is when Grimm starts to, like, show his, like, soft side for Isla, because arrows come out.
They're working together. Yeah. Which, you know what's ironic?
What?
Is that's how her and Oro fell in love, too.
Was working together?
They're searching for the heart of Lightlark.
Shit, you're right.
In the first book, and that's how he starts to... And she almost dies, and he's like, ah! Except Grimm comes to save her.
Yeah. But we find out why Isla didn't die in the first place later. But, fuck. God damn it, what was my thought process? Fuck me.
That we see his soft side, because they're searching for the sword.
He saves her. That's where all that fan art comes from. With the arrows in his back, and he's, like, protecting her.
Yeah. Which is badass.
It was badass. Damn, I really don't remember where I was going with this. I fucking thought I had a thought, and now I can't remember it. God damn it. Okay, never mind. I guess we'll just keep going.
That's okay. We'll keep going. I'm sure we'll stumble upon it at some point. My next point is on page 281. Chapter is called Pain. And this is the first time that she's like, all right, her part of the plan to, like, save Lightlark is she's got to plant lots of poisonous plants and thorns and everything on certain parts of the island, and she doesn't have very long to do it. She has 9 days, and basically this is the first time that she's like, Grimm claimed pain was the strongest emotion. Pain could be useful, and so she's basically, like, slices her hand.
Can we pause for a minute?
And is using... Yeah.
Okay, Brian. He needed to leave. Okay, we can keep talking. I don't care if he's in the background.
Okay. So, anyway, she slices her hand and is using this. And I just thought this was important because she does 9 days of growing shit in one night.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing all this on her own in one night. She uses, it says, pain can be useful. Pain makes you powerful. And it's basically using it as a shortcut. And this was something with Oro. Isla, his hands were rough against her shoulders. He was shaking at her. He looked angry, upset, disappointed. is like, she did all this stuff, and she's like, look at what I did. And he's basically like, who taught you this? Did Grimm teach you that?
Yeah.
And it's the first time that's like, and Isla did not deny it. He looked at her and shook his head. He studied her face covered in blood and her now healed hand and said, I don't recognize you, love.
Yeah.
Hot take. I don't think Oro ever really knew her.
Well, yeah, because we find out that Isla has been doing this for a fucking year.
Yeah.
The only way that she's really good with her power is if she's like unleashing hellfire on.
Well, and I think too, something, and I don't know exactly what page this is on, but when she's talking to Oro at some point, she's basically like, why do you love me? I don't feel good enough for you. And almost all of his points are like, there's questions, she has moments of questions throughout the book where she's like, in the beginning, she's like, is this love? Is this love what's supposed to feel like? Is this what love's supposed to feel like? And it's all these different things. And then she's talking to him about why he loves her. And it's like, oh, I didn't feel anything for years. And I felt something with you. I didn't feel anything for years. I didn't laugh for years. And then you made me smile. You made me laugh. And something about their chemistry compared to the way Alex Aster writes their chemistry compared to her chemistry with Grimm, it just feels, which I guess is the point, is that it just feels kind of shallow, but they don't even realize that it's shallow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think his points are like enough. He's just like, oh, I'm just so happy with you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. But what about being not happy with them?
Yeah.
What about, like, when something goes wrong? How do you react then? How do you react when they do something you don't like or something you disagree with?
Yeah.
And in this moment, she's doing something that he doesn't, it's working. It's something they need to be doing. And he's like, I don't recognize you. No. You just don't know the bad sides of her.
Yeah.
You don't know the sides of her that aren't happy, funny, we're having good time and growing roses together. And Grimm does.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Personally. My next point is the monsters. The monsters on Lightlark and their connection to Isla in the Vinderland, the cannibals basically. What is Isla? The fuck is she?
Yeah.
Like, all of them saying, like, oh, they won't fight for Lightlark, but they'll fight for you? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think because she has all these different powers, it's giving Avatar the Last Air, like, she's the fucking Avatar. Avatar the Last Airbender.
I feel like it
has all the powers.
It has to do with the, like, main island that used to be home before Lightlark. Feel like it's got something to do with that. Or
do you think it's because she's almost like the person who's breaking all these curses? She's also, they're assuming, the rebellion kind of assumes, Marin assumes, they're thinking that her flair is that she is immune to curses.
Yeah. They
think that she could die because the whole concept of your ruler being more powerful and being the lifeline to your people it actually is rooted from a curse. But if she's immune to curses, that means that the wildlings, the starlings, well, actually just the wildlings and the starlings, the realms that she rules over, she could die and they might not die.
Yeah.
Because if she's immune to curses, maybe that doesn't apply to her.
But they're also on the, like, main land. They were saying, like, that's not how it always was, because the old Sunling ruler, Oro's ancestor, had Grimm's ancestors spin that curse for some reason that's still not revealed. We still don't know why that happened. So I'm curious to see if Grimm and or Oro know about that curse. They've got to.
I think Grimm does. I think that's why Grimm wants to go back to the original island.
Yeah.
And also too, because we find out later that like Isla, well, we'll get to it later, because it gets too complicated, and I don't want to skip over too many things. Next point is, next point is the first time they have sex. I thought that was really important.
Oh my god.
On page 328, I don't remember what the hell happens. Is it after he saves her, I think? He saves her from the... No. She saves him. I don't remember. They're closer, next she was alone. Breached the scar. How do you know he could feel it? What the fuck? Oh, okay, yeah. So there was another Drek attack on Lightlark, and she shows up. She's like, where the fuck is he? And she goes to his room. She's like, I want to make sure he's okay. And goes there and whatever, and they... Yeah. Whatever. They have sex, and I think it's really good. And also, she's a virgin?
Well, yeah, she's been locked in her room.
I've never read a... What?
She's been locked in her room her whole life.
I know, but I don't know how I feel about... like a virgin arc. Because even in ACOTAR, we didn't have that. We didn't get it in Powerless. Because they never actually had sex.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, like, I don't know. They talk about it here, and, like, he says, like, that's it, Heart Eater. Make it good for you.
Yuck.
It's not.
I don't think
it's not.
I don't think they're having sex in that part.
They are. Well, at some point they do, yeah.
I don't think that's the part that they have sex, though. Nonetheless, that's not super important to the storyline.
You're right, but it's important to me.
I think what's important to the storyline is immediately before that chapter, she sees, she has a vision, then she goes back to to Wildling, and all of her people are gone.
Yeah.
Grimm took them. Okay, Mochi. Grimm took them with a note that says, I've brought them to Nightshade. They're waiting for you. We're all waiting for you. And then then she has the vision about them getting freaky. And then after she wakes up from that vision, she touches her necklace for the first time. And then Grimm shows up. And
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. I must have flipped through that.
Yeah. Grimm shows up, and then basically she's like, you took them. And he's like, I didn't take them. They came willingly.
They came with me.
And she's like, why would they come willingly? And then she remembers that Poppy and Tara made a deal with Celeste, who also made a deal with Grimm. So I want to know what's underlying there, because
like,
Poppy
how
and
did
Tara
that
have their
come
own,
to be?
Yeah, they definitely have
how
their
did
own
that
agenda.
Because that whole plan had to have been
premeditated,
started, but not before she stumbled into Nightshade. So within that year, it had to have happened within that year.
What if we find out that somehow Poppy and Tara knew that she was like
going to Nightshade? I think they did.
Fucking around and leaving, and
I feel like maybe they did, or like maybe he went to them and like told. I don't know. Somehow they had to have found out, but
or
she
was visiting Celeste, and
yeah.
I don't know. Somehow there has to be a tie between.
Yeah.
But
we also find out this is small, but we find out on page 352 in another memory that Grimm knows that she has no, quote unquote, has no powers. But it makes me wonder if he did know that she had power that was not accessed, because Terry and Poppy knew that she had powers.
Yeah.
Or that she was wilding in Nightshade.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Why didn't they fucking tell her anything?
I don't know. I feel like because she had like, and then Grimm says you are both curse and cure, and all of the ancient things are working with her. I feel like there's something fucking going on with Isla in this old place, and I feel like they didn't tell her because I don't know. She's like the key to something.
Well,
I don't
here,
know.
page 352 is actually where they have sex for the first time, but I tabbed this page, 353, because he says, Heart Eater leaned down, pressed a kiss to her lips. You are both curse and cure.
Yeah.
And so it's bringing her back to that thing that's like she's the cure to something. Like, it's like at what point in these memories, at what point in the timeline did he start working with Poppy and Tara?
Yeah.
Did he start working with Aurora? Because he wasn't always working with Aurora.
And she...
But when he first met Isla, he wasn't working with anyone, as far as we know.
As far as we know. That's why I'm like, so basically, do you want to speed through the rest?
The ending? Yeah, I only have 4 tabbies left, and they're all kind of in the ending, because here's what happens is, well, that's a tiny weird thing. The random dragon she brings home. I hope that little dragon comes back in the next book, because that's fucking adorable. Too. She's like, hey, I found this little baby dragon.
Outside
that's a
the
weird
cave.
Sidebar. That little dragon is almost giving the feather, the quill from Aurora's room. Like, that shit's weird. Yeah. Where the fuck did that come from?
Where did it come from and where did it go?
Literally, like, they just didn't mention it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next thing is, like, what? I don't remember what page it is. I don't know why it got,
what are you looking for?
Not in there. But we find out when he's in her room, it's the first, she tells him, like, I don't ever want to see you again, during a memory. Because she finds out that he knew her using the sword, say they had actually found the sword they were looking for. This is like another betrayal that Grimm does.
Yeah.
If they had actually found that sword, it could have killed her. And Grimm knew that. He was willing to let her die from the beginning. And then he's like, things change. And she's like, fuck you.
I also, like, what the fuck is the sword? Like, why would it have killed her?
Because something about it, the way it, like, uses power, like, her grabbing the sword, I don't know. If I could find the page, I'd be able to read it, but, like, can't find it. Don't know where that went. But literally, he says, like, she's like, you knew from the beginning that this was going to kill me. Which I'm just like, Grimm, what the fuck? So I'm assuming, like, something had to happen after that, maybe. That's where I'm thinking he started working with Aurora, potentially. Because a couple weeks go by where they don't talk.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. But then, at this point, the next sticky note I had, we finally find out that this image of the war and destruction that was supposed to happen to Lightlark was actually not a vision of the future. It was a memory that she had of when she had gone to save Grimm, and there was like a direct attack on Nightshade.
I found the page.
And she had gone to... Oh, okay.
It's 368, and it's confirmed. This, I totally, like, skipped by this when I was reading it. He knows her flare, and her flare is confirmed on this page because it says, I needed you to use your flare to break the curse on the sword. It was an ancient curse. Breaking it would have either killed you on the spot or significantly shortened your life. So right there, her flare is confirmed. She can break curses.
Yeah. And nightshades can spin curses. It's like another opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And she is also Nightshade. That's fucking crazy.
So she can spin and break curses, and she's immune to them.
Damn. Look at her go.
But
yeah, that's fucking shitty.
But then we find out, basically, that... So, something that I'm still... Quickly. the Drex, Grimm has never been in control of them. He was never sending them.
Yes.
That we know. They were attacking Nightshade before they were attacking anything, right?
Yes.
She decides in her memories that she wants to help him. She shows up. Grimm's like getting beat the fuck up, and something like one of them like stabs him through the chest, and that's when the memory that she keeps seeing of Grimm killing her, like that's why she's like, oh, I'm gonna kill Grimm. And Oro's like, are you sure you don't have to? And
well, she doesn't see Grimm killing her. She sees darkness killing her. Like darkness is like swallowing her whole.
Yeah, but she just assumes
and it's actually
Grimm.
her. Yeah,
but
we find out that it's her own power.
It's her, and it wasn't a vision of the future. It was a memory that already happened, because when she portaled to where Grimm was and saw him die, it was very much giving what I thought would happen when Feyre saw Rhys die. Was like all of the power was unleashed, and like she went crazy, went stupid, and that's what happened. And she basically like killed everything. There were children in villages, there were people, but she
the way that her power was unleashed when Remlar like unwound her power, like she also has the sword or something. She has some type of sword. She stabs into the ground.
Yeah.
And it just decimates everything. And it also kills her.
Yeah.
Almost. Like, she almost dies. Like, or her heart stops.
Her heart stops. But somehow Grimm tethers them together. Mm-hmm. So now their souls are bound. Well, we find this out whenever...
he tethers them together. And I'm thinking what this means is, because when it gets brought up, Oro looks at Grimm like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But Isla doesn't know what this means. I'm thinking what it is he almost gives her a piece of his power, a piece of his soul.
Yeah, in order to keep her alive.
Keeps her alive, but it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Like,
he says it was like a temporary solution, because that's why Grimm wants to go to this new world, is so that she can get her full, and that's also why she didn't die in Lightlark when she got stabbed through the chest, and that's why Grimm appeared.
We think that the reason she was saved in Lightlark was because she was holding the heart of Lightlark, but now I'm thinking the heart of Lightlark isn't even that fucking powerful, because Lightlark is just a miniature of whatever this original land is. So we're all thinking the reason that she's alive is because she was holding the heart of Lightlark when she got stabbed.
But the reason she survived was because half of her is tied to Grimm. And if Grimm doesn't die,
it's tied to somebody who's also alive.
Right.
Yeah. And so like this is on 398 whenever Oro says like, you bound her to you, shaking with anger and shock. She knew binding someone to oneself meant sharing a life, not just powers, but life itself. One could not die without killing the other. And this is the part where Oro gets scared, because he said that's only temporary, because he's starting to realize, oh, so she's going to die. And that scares Oro. And now they're not even scared about the whole battle that's still going on. The book ends with this battle still fucking happening in the midst of all of this. And they're like, wait, Isla's going to die. And Grimm's like, yeah, if you kill me, Isla's going to die.
Yeah. And I was like,
if
I go with you, will you stop this? And he says yes. And basically the book ends. The big cliffhanger is Isla looking at Oro saying, I love you, Oro, but I love him too.
I love him too. And because of Oro's flair, he knows she's telling the truth. And here's the thing too, not only are their souls bound, they're married. Fucking married. They're married.
And the necklace that she's had since the first book that she like could touch. That's I think that's the only thing.
It's the equivalent to like a wedding ring.
But she can't take it off. I can take this shit off. Like I can take this shit off. She cannot take the necklace off.
So here's where we have a little bit of
This is where me and Carrie are
a little debate, a little disagreement, where I understand so after Grimm took Isla's memories away, right before, literally on their wedding day, he took their memories away. It's the last memory that she gets.
Instead of putting the necklace on her, he takes her memories away.
He's about to put it on, he turns around and he goes, forgive me, takes her memories away, puts the necklace in his pocket. After he made the decision to take her memories away, I understand the steps he took afterwards to keep her safe. Like, I assume, like, my understanding of the necklace is he could not give her the necklace the way he did in the first book without, like, she needed to not remember that they were married, so that to her, it was just him giving her a gift, and he could explain to her, if you touch the necklace, I will come to you. If he had given her that necklace, she would already have it on. She'd be confused as hell when her memories got taken away and been like, why the fuck do I have this necklace? Why can't I take it off?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been able to explain it to her without explaining that he took her memories away. Yeah. So he had to do that,
I get that
in order for his plan to go through.
I understand
disagree with the plan.
I understand why he did things the way he did. I don't think he should have given her the necklace at fucking all.
I disagree with that.
No, it's not fair. She doesn't know that she's fucking married and that she can't take it off. It's not fair to her own personal autonomy. It's just giving, the reason it makes me so mad is because it's just giving Reese being like, I'm not going to tell you that this baby's going to fucking kill you because I am in my own head and I'm a man and I know everything better than, oh my God, quit not giving your women rights. Quit taking away women's rights.
No. No, that's not what's happening.
That is what's happening.
No, it's not. In ACOTAR, I understand. If you haven't read ACOTAR, fucking sorry. I'll put a thing over the screen that says ACOTAR spoilers. But I think that the necklace, that part of it, she needed that necklace. She would have died in the first book if she didn't have that necklace. And in the second book, she wouldn't have learned how to do the skill. Like, she wouldn't have had the idea to take away his powers to know how to do that, because she could tell when she saw him again by touching the necklace that he still loved her, so she could access his powers and also take them away. There are so many things that she needed that necklace for. And I think, too, even whenever she was taken away by the rebels in the very beginning of the book, when the rebels, like, sucked her into the ocean and she was getting away, there was a moment of, I could touch this necklace right now, and he would come here and he would save me. So I think it needed to be there. I think Grimm knew that she needed to have it. She needed to have a lifeline.
But it wasn't fair for her to not know that she couldn't take it off. It is attached to her.
Yeah.
The way that, like, your fucking, more than a finger is attached to her. You could break a finger, like, you could chop a finger off with a knife or a sword, or, like, you know, she tried to knife that shit off of her and she couldn't. It wasn't fair to Isla's own growth. Also, again, it's just giving, like, oh my God, Reese was 500, Feyre was 21, and now she's pregnant. She got 21 years to live before getting pregnant. Reese got 500 some odd years. It's just giving, like, she's 20 something and she's already married and bound to this person.
Again, and this is the thing that I don't agree with, like, is, like, the plan itself, obviously, like, the whole root of the plan, like, why did he have to take her memories away? Why is that the route they chose to go? Right,
and it also feels like there's just
after
so much
they got
underlying.
Married.
Like, it just feels like we're gonna get so much revealed because I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me that they're still not explained Tara, Poppy, Celeste, Grimm, the intertwining of that. Like, it's just not right. Mm-hmm. And now she's going to be living with this inner turmoil of, I've been married this whole time and I've been kissing and fucking on Oro. And I know that's going to be an issue.
It probably will be an issue, but
not for Grimm.
I will say, at least
her.
in the memories, in the memories before, she did want to marry him. But also, she didn't know that that means he had been planning this whole fucking thing before their wedding day. Like, he had been planning to do this on their wedding day.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Something we didn't talk about that makes me sad that we didn't talk about is the ball. When she gets, like, fantasy roofied and he kills that guy. and it was really hot and spicy. But now I'm like, fuck, I don't want to talk about the hot and spicy because Grimm done pissed me off.
Yeah, Grimm done pissed me off. And also, now that we're like kind of done talking about the book, like we've gotten through the main story, page 38, right?
Okay.
After the little Drex attack, and we know Grimm didn't send them because the Drex have also been attacking Nightshade. That's one of the reasons that Grimm wants to leave, is because the Drex. But he has the sword, so I don't know why he didn't just stop. Again, that's another thing that's still like kind of up in the air. Isla communicated with it. She put her hand to it, and it stopped, and they turned around.
Wait, huh?
The first Drek attack, like at the very beginning of the book.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a new
So what the fuck are the Drex? Like, we know they used to be people, but why is Isla communicating?
I have a new speculation. I think it has to do with something with her. The Drex, I think, have turned into something more similar to like the Vinderland and the snake lady creatures,
like ancient
like
creatures,
kind of people that used to be part of a realm, used to be wildings.
Yeah.
And then so she said there was a period of time where they could leave their realm. They could turn into something else. And the Drex used to be Nightshades, and they were turned into something else. Mm-hmm. So now they kind of run on their own almost. Yeah. Like whatever it is, they're still connected to, because they will also fight with Isla. Isla is somehow connected to the original island. Remlar thinks that she is some type of key to getting back to the OG island. Yeah. And all those other monsters, I think, including the Drex, are all rooting for that. Yeah. And where they're not ruled by a ruler. Yeah. And so the Drex sense that she's something else. Yeah. Like, whatever she is, it's the same reason that the Vinderland and the Snake Lady were like, okay. The Snake Lady eventually was like, yeah, I fuck with you. Right. Came around. Yeah. And the Vinderland, as soon as they saw that she was Wilding and Nightshade, it's not that it was two realms. It was that it made her something different. Else. Yeah. And I think that's why Remlar is like, yeah, I fucks with you. Yeah. You're weird. You're weird. And I think that that's super strange. Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. What do we think's going to happen to the Newlands? You think they'll just go away with Lightlark? Or will they get their power? If the power is not coming from Lightlark, will those go away?
I don't know. I think we're going to have to...
Like, what if there's a bigger heart or like a bigger power source?
There definitely is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shit.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah. That's wild.
Okay. Oh my God. Let's do some final thoughts on Nightbane, because I am so conflicted now. Like, I was conflicted at the end of Lightlark. I was like, do I like Oro? Do I like Grimm? And now I don't know, because I love Oro. Oro is but he seems so naive. Like, it seems like he is not getting with it. And they were right. His friend was right. He doesn't think about what needs to be done. Yeah,
he's not thinking straight. He's only thinking about Isla. And it's almost he's
got love goggles on.
It's almost giving like he's just like, so I have to protect her. Like, he'd go to any lengths to protect her. Mm-hmm.
It's giving love bomb. It's giving a love bomb. And it, like, he doesn't know what to do with it. And it's gonna burn out.
It also, and he's like, oh, I haven't felt anything like this in years, because you haven't allowed yourself to. Like, maybe if you just fucking opened up for once.
Like, use your emotions. Like, don't cut them off. I would rather have somebody be way on the other end of the emotional scale, but be able to, like, actually be real. Yeah. Than be on the side of things that's like, oh, I don't feel my emotions, and I think I'm in control of them. No. You are not in control of your emotions. just because you aren't allowing yourself to feel them, you're just blocking them out.
Right.
That is not the same thing.
Exactly.
Because it takes emotional intelligence
to be able to communicate your emotions.
To feel your emotions and communicate them and decide how you're going to act.
Yeah.
It is so much easier
to just block it out.
Push them away.
Yeah.
I would much rather be the Isla in this situation that just like lets it out there.
Yeah, but then she fucking kills herself by being so emotional. So it's like I said, there's such a fine line between, but also she wouldn't be, I mean, I don't know. She wouldn't have done that if she had been allowed to work with her powers in the first place. She wouldn't have done that if everybody would stop lying to her. That's what, it's pissing me off so bad.
Here, like, why couldn't they have just gone into the Centennial with a group plan?
They're like,
a group plan. But here's the thing.
But
here's the thing. Maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. You know who's the real villain here? Poppy and Tara.
Yeah. Fuck.
Grimm
Poppy and
did
Tara.
some shitty things. Aurora, obviously batshit crazy. Poppy and Tara are
evil.
The villains of this story.
Yeah.
They're evil. They are sick. Tara specifically.
I'm also confused how Isla's mom didn't have to kill her dad. Or if she just like...
Yeah, with the curse, with the wilding curse.
Like, did she just choose not to?
She just didn't.
Can you just choose not to do your curse? Like, I'm confused by that. Because like all of the other things, like all of the other things they were like bound to. Like Sunling, they would burn if they went in the sun. Nightshades, they would burn if they went into the night.
But you didn't just die. You had to be killed.
Couldn't get up and fly.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't...
Here's another thing. This is not super important, but I have a question.
What is it?
Do the Skylings have wings, or are they just Supermaning that shit?
I genuinely think they're just Supermaning that shit.
That is cringe to me. And the fact that, like, she describes Oro flying as if he's just walking in the sky, that's cringy.
It is.
No.
It's like sky
They
high.
have wings. Please get some...
Like when
we
were in Skyling and like they were describing everything, I'm just picturing Sky High.
I just don't understand. I wish they would give these men some wings.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what's her face? The Oro's friend, when they're battling, she gets like flame wings.
Yeah, she's like a phoenix.
Those are sick.
Yeah.
Give those to everybody. And I was picturing the Skylings as having almost like angel wings, like bird wings.
Yeah.
So
I feel like some of
feathery
them
wings.
do.
Because I'm like,
know.
no, Azula's got to have wings because you can't just be like, up and away.
Just into the air.
No.
I'm levitating.
I'm levitating. They're Dua Lipa in this shit. Like,
literally. Like,
Alex, I have a question. Do they have wings?
Do they have wings?
Do you have wings?
Do you?
Do they wings?
Will they wear wings?
Will they wear wings?
Have they worn wings? When will they wear wings?
When will they wear wings? Okay, so those are some final thoughts on Nightbane. I am obsessed with this. I actually think I liked Nightbane better than I liked Lightlark.
Yeah, I think, I mean,
how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I always feel like, I feel like the second / third books of series are always, if it's a trilogy, I always like the second book best. I feel like Hunger Games is the same way. Catching Fire is the best. If it's a series,
I agree.
even like ACOTAR, like I think it's like a general consensus.
In the original trilogy, it was ACOTAR, ACOMAF, and ACOWAR.
And like it's
ACOMAF
a general
was my
consensus that ACOMAF is best.
Yeah.
Same with like the Twisted series.
I agree.
I like the second one the best. I like Twisted Games the best.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm wishy-washy on the Twisted series because I really loved the last one.
But also I feel like fantasy is like the second book is always kind of the best because you don't have like the first 50 to 100 pages are like always world building.
You don't have the world building.
You don't have world building. You already know it. So you really just get to jump into
characters.
the story.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I don't know. I've never been so conflicted over characters.
Hey, girl, did you notice? That's a castle.
Yeah. I noticed that last time. There's like a castle, and then also whenever Isla is using her wilding powers to make weapons and shit, these little spikies, she like makes those
So
crystal
sick.
spikies.
Also,
That castle, I think, is the night. I think that's the Nightshade Castle. Yeah, the little.
skull.
That's a skull. It's on this part too, the shiny part.
Yeah, what is that? Who is that?
I think it's a skull. I think it's a Nightshade, like I don't know, some type of skull.
Alex, you slayed
Who
this
knows?
cover though. Damn.
Yeah, you did.
I love
You
this cover. Okay. Anyways, that's our
Okay.
thoughts on Nightbane. Very conflicted. I feel like
Very
the
conflicted.
the question is, who we rocking with, girls? Are we rocking with?
Yeah.
Are we rocking with Oro?
We rocking with Grim? We're rocking with.
Who is it?
Who is it? Because I'm
Because we
pretty
have to
loyal
pick
Shadow
one.
Daddies. I'm pretty loyal to Shadow Daddies, but something about this, Grim is not
Grim's
fully in it for
pissing
me
me
yet.
off right now.
But the chemistry.
But the
chemistry.
yeah. And I love Grim.
Because Oro, I love Oro, but is there a reason that we don't fall for the sunshine happy dude normally?
Yeah, I'm conflicted.
I'm conflicted.
And
I was
I'm
conflicted at the end
scared.
of Lightlark, and she literally leaves. The end of this book, she leaves Lightlark with Grim to see Poppy and Tara and the rest of the wildlings that supposedly went with Grim. How the fuck did he do that?
Also,
There's
he's
so
saying
many
he's not
questions.
controlling the Drex, but she said, "If I go with you, will it stop?" And he's like, "Yes." But what if the
But there's a Drex.
But what if the Drex are like, "Okay, if she comes, then that means we can find this new world, and then everything will be fine." Like, what if they're? I'm so
Maybe
fucking
he's not working
confused.
with. Maybe he's not. Maybe he doesn't control the Drex, but he's working with the Drex.
I'm so confused.
I'm also so fucking
I'm
confused.
stressed, and I'm not doing well.
That's so fair. But we're gonna play a game now. For our game today, we're gonna do a quick little game of word association. Am I saying that right? Association. Association.
Yes.
Whatever. Word association. So we're gonna say a word. We're gonna count down from 3. We're both gonna say a word. The category is just the first thing you think of when you think Nightbane, and we are gonna keep going
Until we get to the same word.
until we say the same word. I've never done this before.
Me neither. It's also going to be a little weird because we're on over video.
It's okay.
Hopefully it lines up pretty well.
I think it'll line up. It'll be fine. Okay. So, the first thing you think of when it comes to Nightbane. 3, 2, 1.
Stress.
Shadows? What did you say?
Stress.
Dress.
Stress.
Okay, shadows and dress.
Stress.
Dress.
Stress.
Stress. Okay, shadows and stress. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Drex.
Grim?
Okay.
Okay, Drex and Grim.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Nightshade.
Nightshade? We
Let's
did it!
fucking go.
Okay, that was fast. Should we do one more?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. First thing you think of when you think of Isla. Okay,
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Flower.
Hot.
Okay.
Hot flower.
That's what I'm talking about.
3, 2, 1.
Garden.
Thorns.
Okay.
Thorns and garden. 3, 2, 1.
Roses.
Roses? We are good at this.
We are fucking good.
We're in each other's brains. That little worm behind my eyes is your worm.
They're like touching.
They're These are the worms and they're
These are the
touching.
worms.
Okay, let's do it one more time. First thing you think of when you think of Oro.
Okay.
3, 2,
1.
1.
Fire.
Lightlark.
Okay.
Okay, Lightlark and fire. 3, 2, 1.
Hot.
Heat?
Almost.
Heat and hot.
Heat and hot. How do we, is there another word?
I don't know.
Oh, there is one other word.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Red.
Burn? Burn and red. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Fire.
Love? You already said fire.
Did I say fire?
That was the first thing you said.
I don't know. Now I'm confused. I can't do more than 3 words. I forget them.
Our worms are glitching.
My worm fell over. He's not doing good.
Okay, let's do it one more time. First thing you think of when you think of Grimm.
Okay.
3.
We did Grimm.
2. No, we did Nightbane.
Oh. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Shadows.
Sexy?
Yeah.
Sexy shadows. Basically, Grimm. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Daddy.
Powerful? Powerful daddy. There we go. Okay. Okay.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I can't. My brain's not. I'm glitching. I'm glitching. I can't think of more words.
Okay,
I don't know
just
any.
do it first thing in your head. 3, 2, 1.
Dark.
Strong. Dark, strong. Okay.
Hold
3,
on. I don't know
2.
any more words.
Okay. There is a word. There is a word. I have a word that I think would fit.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Smoke.
Ruler. Ruler smoke. Okay. Okay. Now I'm at a loss. We should have called it when we were doing well.
Yeah. Now we just embarrass ourselves. We're not really. I need the fucking Webster's dictionary. I don't know many words. Like when I can't think about it too much because I don't know things. My brain stops working if I try to use it for too long. That's why book club's always so chaotic because I genuinely am not really using my brain. I'm just letting it flow. The second I start trying to use my brain and I start trying to like get coherent thoughts out, I just sound like a fucking idiot. That was book club.
That was book club. Alex, please release the next book. I saw that you were on Instagram saying you were writing something. Can it please be my death? Can you please write my death? Thank you.
I need the 3rd book. Is this a series or is it a trilogy?
I hope it's a trilogy. Because something about a trilogy fits right in my heart.
Yeah.
But I think it might be. But there's so many questions. Maybe this bitch is a series.
Yeah, on the back it says Lightlark Saga.
But it says the saga, which Twilight was a saga. This is getting made into, or Lightlark at least, is getting made into a movie by the same people who produced Twilight. So, I don't know. How many are in Twilight? 5?
There's 4 main books, 5 movies because the 4th one was split into 2. But then she also wrote The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, which was supposed to be between Eclipse and Breaking Dawn because it was about that vampire from, anyways. And then I think she also wrote some from Edward's perspective. I don't know. But let's be honest.
Well, here's my thing.
Twilight was fucking weird.
Yeah, here's my thing. I hope we get as many books out of this as possible.
Yeah.
But I'm so afraid of Alex Aster. The way that she ends these books.
Yeah. I'm
so
scared
afraid
of her.
I don't know if my soul can handle it. But we're doing our freaking best, okay?
Yeah.
That was Book Club. Make sure to follow us on everything. Spotify, YouTube,
Instagram.
Apple Podcasts. We're going to put it out on there.
Yeah.
So everywhere you get your podcasts,
we're there.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. And follow us on GoodReads so you can read along to everything. Next week, we're doing The Cruel Prince.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
We're not.
We're not?
No, Nightbane and then Twisted
I'm an
series.
idiot, stupid head. Next week,
Next
we're
week,
covering all 4 Twisted books.
All 4 Twisted books. And then the last week of May.
And then Cruel Prince.
Yeah, last week of May, we're doing Cruel Prince. And girl, I am excited.
And what you know about the Twisted series?
Yeah, you guys.
Because next week is gonna be chaotic as fuck. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
right
if
now.
you haven't read Twisted, read them. They're pretty, I mean, they're not like
Read
super
'em.
long books, and it's not fantasy, so it's not a whole lot of world building.
It's a romance, but they're filthy.
And
so
they're
get ready for
fucking
that.
crazy. Like, the underlying stories go
They go
insane.
crazy.
Okay. So, yeah, read those.
We gotta fucking wrap it up. We yap too damn much.
Born to yap. Forced to,
Born.
I don't know. All we do is yap. I'm not forced to do
Exist?
shit. Born to yap, forced to yap.
Bye.
Bye.